What's happening, everybody? So I made a video the other day about my second favorite subcompact pistol. Today I want to talk about my #1 choice for a subcompact pistol. If something were to happen and I could only carry a subcompact for whatever reason, I'm going to pick the Glock 26. Now this thing is empty. Go ahead and show you that. Make sure we're all confirmed here, clear. Right, nothing in there. Nothing in there, if you can see that. Empty mags, all the mags are empty. There's no ammo in this room. I'm really careful about that kind of stuff. Not to say that I'm always, like everything I do is always just perfect and all that good stuff, but man, I try really hard to avoid having a bang when I expect to click. So, guns are all empty and safe as they possibly could be right now. Why do I pick the Glock 26 as my favorite subcompact? Well, listen, I don't get any money from Glock. I'm not a shill for Glock or whatever the terminology might be. I'm not sponsored by them. Man, to be really 100% real with you guys, my favorite pistols I've talked about before on this channel are the Beretta 92 and the 1911. There's just something about those, the classic lines of those pistols, the way they feel, the way they handle, the history, the legacy. There's something cool about those guns, man. It's like driving a muscle car, or man, somebody pulling up in like a 60s era Cadillac. There's just something so cool about those cars and what they embody, what they represent. Same for a 1911, and I know the 92. If you'll allow me, my 1911 aficionados, if you will allow me for my personal preferences and taste to include the 92 in that category, just for me, not for anybody else, that's where I'm at. However, it's just one of those things where I've had to carry Glock for work. I've had to shoot Glocks and for teaching gigs where the agency or whomever brought me in, they all shoot Glocks, they all carry Glocks, so I prefer to shoot what they have to shoot every day. I feel like there's something to that. If you're going to teach cops how to deal with retention holsters and running a duty trigger of at least 5 pounds, so I would show up and I'd have to teach with whatever these guys were issued. However, over time, I've talked about this before, really came to appreciate the Glock 26 as a really nice subcompact. First thing is, it feels like I'm holding a Glock 17 or any of the small frame Glocks. So it's the same width, right? Not the same depth or height, whatever I guess we could call it. But that part right there, being able to grip it the same as I would grip a 19 or a 17 or a 22 or any of the small frame Glocks, I can do that. The trigger's the same, the trigger guard is the same, everything is identical in this area, right? Where I'm kind of interacting with the pistol, getting my grip and all that good stuff. The other thing I like about it is that I can feed it. So this is the 10 round with some sort of pinky extension on it so that I can get the full grip. Otherwise, when I have to run this pistol, I'm running with my fingers hanging off. And that's a little weird. It's kind of, you can still do it. You just have to use the wedge. For me, you have to use the wedge that Masayub teaches. And if I can find video, I'll put it up here of me shooting a 26. You can see I don't have a hard time shooting this pistol. But again, one of the reasons it's my favorite subcompact is it also can be fed with the compact, which this is a Glock 19 15 round mag, and the full size magazines. So that's a 17 round mag. So I can feed this as my reload. If I were a police officer, if this was my backup, I could feed this with the magazines that are on my belt already. So it's not like I have an M&P Shield, say, with 8 round magazines, and if I run that dry and I don't have extra mags on me because it's a backup gun, I can't feed it. Even if I'm carrying an M&P full size, I can't feed it with the same magazines. So that was one of the big selling points for me. One of the reasons I really was a fan of this pistol. The other thing that I like about it is if I have a Glock 19 or a Glock 17 holster, this will ride in that holster. Now, obviously the length of the holster is going to be out here. I'm not putting my finger in front of the muzzle, so bear with me. But say the bottom of the holster might be out here, but that's going to be in the waistband, right? That's below the belt. It's not gonna make a difference as far as concealment goes. But this part here, that's going to be above the holster line and also above the belt line, will print less. So I can still use the same holsters. I can still use the same mag carriers as the 17 or the 19. And yeah, like all my gear is the same. So I don't have to buy different gear. I don't have to, you know, if I'm going to carry a subcompact and it's a SIG 365 or any of the other really cool subcompacts that are out there now, even the Glock 43X that my wife has that I posted about the other day, I can't use my regular Glock holsters for that pistol, but I can for this one. So that's pretty cool too. Now there you have it, Glock 26. That's my favorite subcompact. The other thing I like about it is it has the same sights, because I'm running iron sights right now as part of this project to carry a Glock 17 this year. And it's just, I've talked about it in the other videos. I just don't want to chop up the MOS Glocks are all out there. I can just get the slide if I want to do that, or just pick up another one. You can always find like police trade-ins and used ones for like 400 bucks, 500 bucks at the most. So I could just pick up one of those if I wanted to throw, absolutely just had to have a red dot on my pistol, I could do it. But for now, again, given the parameters I've set for myself, which are stock service pistol for IDPA or production for USPSA style pistol, but also as my everyday carry gun, so train and compete with the same style pistol, that means iron sights. So on this one I have the Ameriglow. I haven't replaced these with the tag sights yet, but I will probably be doing that. My point with that is that it's the same sights, the same exact sights that I put on the 19 and on the 17 and on the 34, so that my sight always looks the same. Everything's always the same. Triggers are the same. Like, I've done nothing to the trigger. This is just a standard Glock trigger, nothing special. It's pretty crisp, actually. I mean, for a polymer pistol, not a hammer fired gun, this feels pretty good. I haven't done anything to it but just dry fire. Yeah. Hey man, my favorite subcompact right there, Glock 26. Let me know in the comments what your favorite subcompact is. I'm always interested in checking out other folks' choices. My favorite subcompact, tell me about yours. You guys have a good one.